Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're jumping straight into a brand new explainer covering Session 5 of CloudBridge Tech Labs. And wow, we are talking about a massive skill breakthrough today, mastering Bash scripting for DevOps automation. If you've been following along with us, you know we've been building a really solid foundation. But today is where the magic actually happens. So get ready, because we're about to seriously supercharge your workflow. Okay, I want you to imagine completing hours, literally hours of repetitive server work with just a single command. Seriously, just let that sink in for a second. Have you ever spent a whole afternoon just copying files, checking server statuses, or, clicking through the exact same configurations over and over again? Man, it's exhausting. It's super prone to human error, and frankly, it just drains your mental energy. But what if you had a superhero solution? What if you could package all that tedious work into one swift action? Well, the answer to all that pain is incredibly simple. It's Bash scripting. Now, this isn't just another tool. No, this is the absolute secret weapon of pretty much every successful DevOps engineer and Linux admin out there. Think of it like a bridge. The bridge between just knowing how to use a computer and actually telling the computer how to do the heavy lifting for you. From automating backups and deployments, to monitoring servers, to managing massive cloud infrastructures, Bash scripting is the language of efficiency. All right, to get you geared up with this secret weapon, let's quickly look at our agenda for today's explainer. First, we're going to cover the power of automation. Second, we'll get into Bash scripting basics. Third, we'll build a real-world backup script. Fourth, we'll look at some essential DevOps commands. And finally, we'll wrap up with your Day 5 mission. So let's kick things off with Section 1, the power of automation, separating beginners from real DevOps engineers. You see, the fundamental mindset shift you really need to make here is a beautifully simple equation. Automation equals scripting. Whenever you hear companies talking about high-level DevOps automation or continuous integration or managing thousands of servers all at once, they aren't using magic, right? They're using scripts. Scripting is the core method for automating backups, streamlining deployments, and monitoring cloud infrastructure. If you want to make that leap from a beginner who manually configures servers to a pro who manages entire fleets of them, mastering scripting is your key. All right, moving on to Section 2, Bash scripting basics, building your first automated commands. Okay, so the life cycle of a simple script basically breaks down into 4 clear steps. First up, you write the code. Check out that first line, #bang/bin/bash. We actually call that the shebang, and it basically just tells the system, hey, use the bash interpreter to run what follows. Then we drop in our command, echo hello DevOps. Step 2, you save the file as hello.sh. That .sh extension is just a standard convention for shell scripts. Now, step 3, pay attention because this is absolutely crucial. You have to run chmod +x on hello.sh. You see, you could write the best script in the world, but if you don't give the system permission to execute it, it's just a useless text file. That +x, it stands for executable and gives your script permission to fly. Finally, step 4, you run it by typing /hello.sh. Honestly, those 4 steps are the heartbeat of everything we're going to do. So let's see how this builds by looking at variables. Look, hard-coding information is fine for a basic hello world script, but real scripts, they need to be dynamic. We define a variable simply by giving it a title and a value. So name equals Sachin. And notice this is important. There are absolutely no spaces around that equal sign. Then, when we want to use that data later on in the script, we just call it with a $sign, like echo $name. Variables are awesome because they allow your scripts to store data, file paths, or server names, which makes your code reusable across completely different environments. Next up, we're going to add some brain power with conditions. Because scripts need to make decisions, right? Let's say we write if -f test.txt bracket. This is incredibly useful. That -f flag checks if a specific file actually exists. So the script is essentially asking, does test.txt exist? If it does, then it runs the command echo file exists, and we close the whole condition with fi, which, fun fact, is just if spelled backwards. Adding this kind of logic prevents your scripts from throwing annoying errors if, say, a backup file hasn't even been generated yet. Now, if conditions are the brain, well, loops are the muscle. Take a standard for loop, like for I in 1, 2, 3. This tells the script to iterate through a sequence. For every single item in that list, it will do the action, in this case, echo $i, until it's done. Just imagine replacing that 1, 2, 3 with a list of 50 server IP addresses. and replacing the echo command with the command to install a critical security update. Suddenly, a task that would normally take you an hour takes, 3 seconds? That's the real leverage loops provide. Which brings us to section 3, real-world backup script, taking your skills to the production environment. Okay, here is exactly what a real DevOps engineer might use on a daily basis. It's elegant and it's incredibly powerful. We start with our shebang, /bang /bin/bash, then just a single line, tar-czf backup.tar.gz, followed by the path /var/www/html. This script immediately goes to the exact folder where a website's files are stored, and it compresses everything inside it into a neat zipped archive file called backup.tar.gz. Honestly, you could just set a system timer to run this script every night at midnight, and you'd completely automate your website's backup process. Literally zero manual clicking required. Moving right along to section 4, essential DevOps commands, the ultimate command line tool belt. Let's look at two absolute titans of network testing and file retrieval, curl and wget. So curl is fantastic for API testing and just seeing what a web server sends back to you. Simply typing curl google.com will grab the HTML data from that page and dump it right into your terminal window. It's an absolute lifesaver for troubleshooting connections. Right below that, we have wget. This is your go-to for downloading files directly to your server without ever needing a web browser. You just type wget followed by a link to a zip file, and boom, it's downloading directly to your current directory. Next up in our tool belt are our compression tools. Now, we briefly saw tar in our backup script earlier. Running tar-cvf test.tar on a folder will compress it, right? And if you swap out that C for an X, so tar-xvf, well, that extracts it. It's heavily used in the Linux world. Alternatively, you have the standard zip command. Notice the example here, zip-r app.zip. That -r stands for recursive. Basically, that tells the command to go into the folder and grab every single file and subfolder inside it to create the whole zip archive. And now for the heavy hitters, awk and sed. These commands are basically text manipulation superpowers, no joke. Awk is incredible for extracting specific columns of data from a log file. If you type awk, then tell it to print $1, it will print only the first column of your text file. Then there is sed, the stream editor. Running sed and telling it to swap dev for prod instantly searches through a text file and replaces that word globally. Just imagine needing to update a configuration file with thousands of lines. Sed does the whole shebang instantly. All right, final section, section 5, your day 5 mission. Let's put your new bash skills into action. So your mission today is to completely bridge that gap from beginner to pro. I want you to actually sit down and write that backup script, practice compressing files with tar and zip, create a for loop that cycles through some numbers, write an if condition that checks for a file, download something using wget, and definitely test a connection using curl. Go through this checklist step by step in your own terminal. And hey, do not skip the chmod plus X step. Once you physically type these out and actually see them work, the power of automation will truly, absolutely click for you. So I want to leave you with this question to chew on. What repetitive task in your daily workflow will you automate first? Like, is it managing server logs, maybe backing up a directory, or updating system files? Whatever it is, the tools are now in your hands. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer on session 5. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe to CloudBridge Tech Labs for more deep dives into DevOps mastery. Keep learning, keep scripting, and I will catch you in the next one.